Jelly Beans. This is Jillery Jelly, here with a blanket, and this is Daryl Takahashi's sister, Meryl. And, oops. Alright, can everybody hear me over the music? Okay, that sounds good. Alright, and just want to make sure that my captions are working. Yep, and okay, so got ourselves the lovely, lovely music of Kevin MacLeod, and you got me, you got my doll collection in back here, and you probably noticed that a few of them are wearing some new duds. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my trip to Los Angeles for the Volks Dolls Party in LA 5. We left from Boston on early Friday morning, myself and my friend Anna. Flew out 5 hours on the plane to Los Angeles, and we landed a little around 11 o'clock local time, waited around for our friend Mike, and we went to our hotel, which was only about 15 minutes from the airport, which was really good. Of course, the most fun thing about the ride over was that we passed by the Square Enix building in Los Angeles, so of course I had to point it out. Every time me and my family drive down to New York City, we go through Stamford, Connecticut, and every time we go through Stamford, Connecticut, there's WWE headquarters, and we all point at it, and we either flip it off or we laugh or whatever. But yeah, we passed by Square Enix, and we yelled at it because RPGs. Anyway, the convention itself was a 2-day event. On Saturday evening was the tea party, where they would have refreshments, contests, and the unveiling of new dolls in their product line. And then Sunday was the general sales day and the day where you could play mini games and display. But along the way, there was a lot of good times. We went to the mall right across the street from the hotel on Friday night, and oh my god, it's one of the bigger malls in the country. So they had a lot of really good stores there that you don't normally get out where I live, like Animate US, which was great, except they only had a few Madoka Magica items, and I wanted to add to my Hamiru collection, but not for $24 for a acrylic sign. And I did get a bunch of Bochi stuff. I mean, you can't go wrong with Bochi the Rock. So we did go to the mall there. They do also have a Japanese grocery store attached with a little food court, Mitsuwa Marketplace. And I got to try 2 things for the first time. I got to try a Sutadon, which is also a stamina don, which is a Japanese dish of pork belly and onion and garlic cooked over rice with egg that's supposed to give you energy, and it did. And I also managed to find Minus 196 Vodka Seltzer, which is the American brand name for Strong Zero. So me and Mike were able to get our inner Shua-chan on. Dr. Zadium asks, but if you did not fight and defeat God, was your trip actually complete? We're getting to that. Anyway, on Saturday, they had some panel events in the morning before the tea party started, which apparently weren't all that good. They kind of underestimated the size of the crowd that had pre-registered, and unfortunately the panels weren't as informative, according to my friends, as they should have been. So Saturday morning into afternoon, we had LobbyCon. Now, for those of you who don't know what LobbyCon is, it is when you hang out in the lobby with like-minded people and talk and show your stuff off. So we did a bunch of doll photo shoots. The theme of the convention was Retro Americana, and I managed to make myself a couple of doll outfits in the short span before the convention, based on some patterns that I got off of Etsy. One of them, the Lily back there, who's in this purple ensemble, I had her dressed up in a poodle skirt outfit with a pink blouse and a gray skirt. Jessica, who is in the pink and black outfit back there, I had her in a red polka dot halter dress, kind of like I Love Lucy. And then Catherine, my newest doll, she is in that purple Chinese style dress. I had her in a very nice retro style wrap dress with a kerchief. And everybody had brought their dolls. They were setting them up. We were all taking pictures, talking, trading Instagrams. And then we all got prepared for the tea party, which took place in the hotel ballroom. There was tea. It was a party. And there were announcements of new product lines, which basically were two of the larger ball-jointed dolls in Volks's line called the Jewels. And they were Topaz and Emerald, and they looked okay. But the real draw was the door prizes and the one-offs. So in the Volks world, a one-off is a one-of-a-kind doll that has been dressed and painted one-of-a-kind and is the selling rights for it are raffled off. So you put your name onto a form and you put it in a box and you cross your fingers that you get drawn. And if you get drawn, take out your wallet because you just got yourself the chance to buy a very nice doll. And if you give that up, you're probably blacklisted or something. I don't know. Anyway, along with myself and Anna and a couple of other people at the table, we had 2 people win a one-off, and 1 person win one of the door prizes. So I made a few shouts of I am the lucky table, and I don't know if there were any Botchamania fans in attendance. Anyway, after the tea party and after heading out to the mall, the next day we had the sales day, and you all line up to get into the dealer's room, and instead of having the first person in line who probably brought a sleeping bag and a camp stove with them, they have a box where they draw numbers to find out who's going to be the first in line. Whoops, that wasn't good. There we go. All right, so we lined up, and then they went down through the line and gave us number stickers. And then they took a box with number balls and started drawing a 3-digit number. Of course, they started with the final digit first, so come to find out that we were not getting in anytime soon. And when we did, it was kind of chaotic. I was starting to get an anxiety attack because there were so many people around me, and I basically got my stuff, got out of there, sat down, and just tried to relax, because it was pretty crowded, and unfortunately they did not have any of the stuff that I was looking for. But anyway, the next thing that I did was I played some of the carnival games that they had. They have the cap gun game where you try to shoot down a little paper bag that is filled with doll accessories, and you get 5 shots, and you have to knock down as many as possible, and then there's a whole bunch of different prizes that you can win. I ended up getting a shirt and a pair of shoes. They have a gacha where you pull, it's either for t-shirts and doll eyes. Thank you very much for the resub, MJD82. Yep, Amazon Prime sub, letting you sub again. Thank you, thank you. There was one gacha for the B grades of glass eyes that they use for their Super Dolphy line, and then the other gacha was for special animatic eyes as well as special t-shirts. And I ended up getting a Dolphy Dream t-shirt that was designed like a baseball jersey. And they're very excited for me to win. And the next thing that I did was that they have, along with the one-offs, they have limited doll lines that they only sell at events. They don't generally sell them to the general public, unless you are going to an event such as a Dolls Party, or if you visit one of Volks's special shops in Japan. And one of the dolls that I really wanted was one of their Dear SD lines. And what they are is that they are resin ball jointed dolls. They have the body size of a mini Super Dollfie, but are a little bit thicker around the waist. And then they have heads that are the same size as a standard Super Dollfie. But anyway, I marked my name down. I looked at the dolls that they had. I'm looking and saying, oh, that one, I've been looking at videos of that one, and I really like it. Oh, I wonder what it would be like to finally own one. So I put my name down and I put it into a box, and I sat down, hung out with my friends. We actually ended up running into an old friend of ours that used to live in the Boston area, and she had moved out to California for work, and it was really great to see her again. She also entered a couple of the one-off lotteries. And then finally they announced lottery time. Now, here's something that I did after the tea party, because they were having you put your names out on forms, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna put my name down in katakana just in case, because I kind of have a weirdly distinct last name that might be a little hard to pronounce. So I did that every time I had to put my name down for something at the convention. So it was the afternoon of Sunday, and I'm worn out. I thought I lost something that was a freebie that was really cute, and I'm just going, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to go home, and stuff like that. And they announced the winners of the lottery. I thought they were going to pull them out on the stage and announce them one by one, but instead they put out a whole bunch of boards with our tickets taped onto them. So then the whole mass of humanity goes towards the stage, and we all start looking, try to see if you can find your name, and then all of a sudden I remember I put my name in katakana underneath my name in Romaji. It was up there. I am now the proud owner of a Dear SD now. She is in fair skin. She has such lovely eyes. She reminds me of a Showa-era children's book illustration. I already have an alternate outfit on its way. I won it in an online auction. It is missing parts, but I'm not going to let that hold me down because I can sew. And I mean, this is probably one of the best souvenirs that you can ask for. Like, being able to get one of these after working so much and saving up your money, and it's just so cute. It's something that you can talk to people about and show off, and they'll say how cute it is and everything. But yeah. There was also another doll there that Volks had done a one-off that they were going to be auctioning off for charity. And it was one of the taller Super Dollfies, and they had it dressed in a cat-style evening gown. The Dear SD collection, they were in two different outfits. This was one of them, and then the other was a pint-sized version of that little black cat collection. So the large doll of the black cat in the evening gown, I kind of called it Miss Shamour, like the character from Go Princess Precure. My friend thought it was Ketchi. I thought it was Daryl Takahashi at Fashion Week. And that was auctioned off for charity for almost $86,000. Can you believe it? Like, I know I spend a lot of money on my hobbies, but that is the rest of a mortgage, That is the cost of a luxury car? That is super duper FU money. But yeah. Anyway, that was my weekend. It was a lot of fun. I got to drink Strong Zero and have a stud on for the first time. I got to hang out with friends that I hadn't seen for a while. Got to meet a whole bunch of new people and trade Instagrams and yeah. So I also, what else did I do? Oh, I got home on Monday and slept until noon. We took a red eye out of Los Angeles back home. It was... there's two things that I've done on airplanes before. The first thing that I've done was I was the last person on the airplane after my mother mixed up the departure time for the flight to and the flight from and dropped us off way late. And the second thing was doing a red eye out from the West Coast. Never again. Unless it's an emergency. Anyway. We're going to get right into Vampire Survivors, so let me just do a quick scene transition, if you please.